lot of people that were on the debate last night, and I just wanted to hop on here and hear your thoughts. Drop a comment. Let us know where you are watching or where you watched the debate from last night. I thought it was very obviously climactic, but I just very much a disappointment to a lot of the American people who, again, have felt like their voice has not been heard. And I think that's really the big picture here is that you have a lot of um, people that feel like their voice has not been heard. And so they're getting tied up in concocting over the policies and the what each person is in favor of or not in favor of, when in fact the big picture is that people feel like their voice isn't being heard. They feel like their vote didn't count in 2020. They feel like their voice has not been heard this time, and they're concerned, and some are even apathetic, and understandably so in a way, because they feel like, what's the use in voting if my vote is not going to be heard? So I just wanted to, just share with you guys and hear your thoughts, and really help, hopefully, peel some layers back and refocus us instead of being distracted by just the policies. The policies are important, yes, especially when we vote kingdom and biblically. But more importantly, the overall picture is that we have a voice as the church in America, and to be apathetic is to make a choice to shut your own voice down. So whether you feel like it's going to matter or not really isn't the point. You have to vote one way or another, or you voted to not make a choice at all. And it's kind of like I just keep feeling the whole. I feel like I'm starting to understand a little more when Jesus is like, "Can you not stay awake for even 1 hour? Can you not pray with me and stay awake for even 1 hour?" Like, I'm not saying, and hear me clear, I'm not saying, I'm not coming down. I'm not trying to condemn anyone. I'm just trying to say, like, I get it. It's easy to fall asleep right now apathetically and say it is completely useless to feel like we have a voice and just I give up, like, or oh, what they did, there was 3 against 1. We do feel like there was 3 against 1. It looked like class bullies last night. It looked like a bunch of class bullies in the classroom or out on the recess playground kicking dirt in his face. And we know that she was fed lines because she can't make up a sentence completely, but more importantly, like, she absolutely, I mean, do you blame her? If she was given the test and she was told to read it, she would read it. Right now she's hungry for power and she's going to do whatever that she's told to do. This is what happens when you're a follower and not a leader. You're just a follower. Then you can be led, then you can be bought, and followers also lead also leaders also follow. But when you're a follower that does not lead, that's dangerous. So what's the principle here? The principle is that you're feeling like you have no voice, which is a lie of the enemy. We all have a voice. We just choose to use it and persevere and make a shout till the end, or we don't. And right now, I just feel like we watched a bunch of class bullies beating the one guy up on the playground, and not one teacher jumped in. Not one teacher jumped in and said, "Time out." So, okay, I'll be that teacher. Time out. And we have to have a voice, and we have to show up November 5th. And, all that vote blue show up November 6th. But the point is, you have to have a voice and show up and really be a part of patriotic change and biblical change in America, because what's happening, we if we can go back to January 6th, but we can't go back to the summer of 2020, when I watched business owners, which she said she's for small business, I watched business owners get their backs jumped on and broke while their glass to their businesses were shattered by Black Lives Matter and Antifa joke. And I'm like, I'm done. Like, this is stuff that I lost my uncle for in Vietnam. This is stuff that my dad fought for. This is stuff that my husband went to war for. And all you need to do is piss one military wife off and send them. They'll go. And so you guys got to wake up. It's got to, at some point, it's got to hit home. And it's like, with say, don't mess with our kids. Go to don'tmesswithourkids.us, and you'll hear there that God told Jenny, the only way America's going to wake up is when they take your kids. When they take your kids, then you're going to wake up. But that's wake up now. You have comfort zones. That's the problem. Slap yourself out of the lazy boy and wake up, because at some point there has to be a point where you're like, okay, you're going to thank me for this video later. And if you don't, I'm still okay with it. But the point is, like, we have a nation to save, and Jesus is not going to go coming down from the right hand of the Father this time, because he's already done the work and he told us greater things we would do. So he's expecting us to get up off our butts from the lazy boy recliner and actually go vote and do something, and not just talk about, well, 3 were against 1 on this. Oh, I'm so mad. Like, that's getting us nowhere. Have a voice. Jump on your own social media. You don't have to look perfect. I don't care what you think. If you think I don't have my makeup and my hair done, I don't care. I'm just wanting to be a voice in clearly the wilderness and scream that Jesus is coming. And if you don't wake up now, and I'm shocked at the people that say, America, we're going to lose America. I mean, you know what? Either way, last I checked in Revelation, when it looks like we're highly persecuted, we still win, because he's gonna, there's some point of rapture, and whether you believe it or not, he's going to take us in the clouds. Read your word, and whatever you want to call it, I don't care. You can call it going to McDonald's. I don't care. He's going to take me when the trumpet sounds. But in the meantime, does it look like persecution and stuff? That's what it says. I'm not expecting it to be beautiful and gravy. What I am expecting is that I'm going to have a voice because he told me to. I'm going to have a voice because he told me to persevere and do greater things. I don't get to pick and choose which great things I want to do. I get to pick and choose him, period. I don't look back and go, well, I mean, we're screwed because there was 3 against 1. Yes, the obvious. There are class bullies, but I actually have to do something beyond that. And if the greater picture, if we go to the end of the fear, like, let's just unravel it and go to the end of the fear. If you go to the end of the fear, then you understand the end of the fear is that you are afraid your voice doesn't matter. Well, it doesn't. If you say nothing, then it really doesn't. Those that don't show up don't get heard. And so just showing up to the polls, I don't even believe is enough at this point. Show up on social media. You're not the only one. If you're complaining about the media and how they handled it last night, then what are you doing to be the media? What are you doing to jump on your social media and actually say something? I do see so many of my friends, and I'm thankful for the ones that are actually jumping up and saying something on social media. You have a voice. You don't have to just listen to CNN and ABC and NBC and all the blue media. You don't have to listen to that. You can actually be a change agent and be a social media person. You can actually hop on and just push play. You can actually say what you believe. I'm surprised that more Trump cheerleaders from the sidelines aren't actually doing anything and saying anything. What are you worried about? You worried your car's gonna get egged at work? Are you worried that somebody's gonna spit on your food in the lunch line? Like, I don't understand. I don't understand. And we're going to all be accountable one day. This is where the talents that you hide are going to be talked about. Like, I believe that the Lord is actually giving you a voice. That is part of your talent. And he is expecting you. He's not asking, he's expecting you to use it. He's not expecting you to put it in the ground and say, well, I just hid it from everyone and I wanted to save it. No, don't save it right now, because he's expecting you to be a voice in the wilderness. And it's not just a few of the Johns and the Elijahs. It's supposed to be you. If not, then who? I mean, if you're just waiting for CNN and ABC and NBC to actually wake up, and you're like just enjoying the sideline commentary of, oh, they're such idiots. Well, I mean, I hate to tell you, like, the only thing worse in sitting in a stadium crowd during a football game is hearing the people that complain about the coach and actually never do nothing. They do nothing. to coach the kids themselves. Get up early in the morning and train them. Get up early in the morning and train them in leadership. Get up early in the morning and invest heart, soul, and money into what it looks like. Time invested. So if you're going to do that, just make sure that you're actually putting your time and your efforts where you are saying they're not doing it. Because I'm tired of sitting here preaching, and I've been guilty of it. So I'm just saying, here I am pushing play and being a voice, but we cannot sit there and complain about them because they're at least preaching. They're preaching something. They're preaching some sort of message. I mean, that's more than some people. So I love you guys. I hope that you hear my heart. If you don't, then just pray about it. Don't take my word for it. Ask the Lord. And then and then ask him what you're supposed to do and actually do it. Because it's getting late and it's getting real. And either way, I mean, when I last read the word, there is going to be a level of persecution. I'm here for it because it's going to make sure that people see that Jesus has covered the church. He's covering the church. He's covering the church. But we can't think. I saw someone posted the other day, and it's so spot on. We can't think that the church in America is exempt from everything that the disciples went through. Like it's the last days. We don't get exempt from, we don't get some lazy boy recliner all the way to the rapture. We don't get exempt. We might seem like we can persevere in it in uncanny ways because it's supernatural, but we don't get exempt from it. And that doesn't mean that you keep your mouth shut because you're just expecting the persecution to come on. No, you're actually supposed to amp up even more. So, yeah, speak up. Let's not just let the class bullies have their way. We have a choice to also put put the fear of God in them by pressing play. I'll look forward to it. Make sure you tag us at Visual Testaments so we can cheer with you.